Live right now.
Yay!
Probably.
Wait.
I also read this fucking awesome study that, okay, when I say awesome, I was just really happy at the results of it because it was a study comparing insight and stuff to between personality disorders. Guess what cluster B personality disorder had the worst insight?
Narcissists, right?
Borderlines. I was so ecstatic. I was like, you fuckers can't make fun of us anymore. You guys are the bad ones.
Well, I think, I mean, because I creep on a borderline group.
Yeah.
So, you know, in the past, I would try to give my, perspective and everything to try to get them to understand. No.
Yeah. They do not want to hear that most of the time.
Yeah. I get blocked, right away. It's
wow.
Yeah, they want to stay in the demonizing narrative that,
that's what frustrates me is it feels like they're trying to throw us under the bus to save their own stigma. I'm like, it's like, well, at least we're not narcissists. It's like, well, okay, fuck you.
Well, I think that, I mean, maybe they feel that they're more aware than we are or something.
They really do.
I bought a book today. So
are you quitting?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So tired of coughing.
Yeah.
And I keep running, outside because I can't smoke in the house, and I have to run outside all the fucking time. And then it's like, because I'm not drinking, I haven't been drinking for 2 weeks.
How are you managing right now?
Totally fine. I think today I had a slight panic moment where was the first time in 2 weeks where I was like, oh my God, a drink would be so great right now.
Right. Like just like craving of just like, please let me relax for 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was weird. I was feeling really fucking great. And then I went straight to, I was picking up my son. We were going to go to the bookstore and then go to lunch and then go home. And then I was picking him up. I'm feeling really fucking great. I pick him up. Then I have anxiety that I have to go out in public. So I'm getting this, and I've suffered with this my whole fucking life. So it's like, I know it's there and I just have to fucking, fake my way through this shit. And so I'm doing that. I'm going to lunch. I'm having a slight panic, moment. It's a nice moment that we're having, but I'm still just like, I just want to be at home, and be in my safe space. Oh my God.
Where everybody can't judge me.
Yeah, it was just, I don't think about people like looking at me or me having to perform because I'm so used to just, along with the waiter and shit and just being, making them feel good. I love making service people feel good.
I know. They're so desperate for it half the time too. It's like, it's so easy.
I used to work in retail. So I loved working in retail because I loved trying to make the angry customer happy, because then, and then I wouldn't react to them. And it was really great. And I'm just like, I'm going to fix this problem for you. Don't you worry about it. On my day off, I'm going to call you. Oh my God. It was great. It was so much fun. So I really like how they say narcissistic people, their entitlement and shit, that they shit on service workers.
I never did that. I would be fucking. And honestly, so this is interesting because I was actually talking to Ruth about this. Is that like the cultural differences between narcissism? Because so take Wendy T. Berry's book. She describes like that, it's like, oh, I demand to have the best seat in this restaurant. Like that ridiculous shit that would be humiliating to witness. But she worked purely out of Brooklyn. And imagine what kind of people are, they're already pretty abrasive people there, and let alone a narcissistic one, right? Meanwhile, I live in the Midwest, and my whole thing is like, politeness is the most important thing ever. Like, you are not impolite to anybody. And so, and it's really interesting. I wonder if like that if that's like a cultural thing where like some American narcissists, and I know early Warren Barkin, he used to like rat on service workers. So I wonder if it's like kind of like certain parts of America culturally are just not as prone to that.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense, because when I grew up in Southern California, and everybody's a dick. They'll just fucking drive over you and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Moved up to Northern California in like a rural area, and
yeah,
walking in front of cars because everybody is so polite and they stop and they're not going to kill you. They say excuse me when they walk in front of you at the grocery store, you know, like, I'm sorry, I'm walking in front of you, you know. In the big city, people give no fucks. And so now I'm still in Northern California, but I moved towards the Bay Area, and they be dicks again. I am seeing dicks everywhere. And I'm still, you know, the calm person, and, you know, everybody's freaking out and shit. And I'm just like, I feel like killing people with kindness is so fucking better, you know? Number one, I look good. And
that's a big one. For me, that's a big one. It's like, I'm not like everyone's going to look at me arguing with somebody, well, not arguing, but like them arguing with me, and they're going to be like, man, that guy's a fucking dick. That guy is really mature for like not like engaging with that.
Yes. There was, okay, now I want to pump up your self-esteem. Watching the live that you had. And what's her channel called?
It's like Cosmos TV. She needs to send me. Let's see if she sent me the links to her. She didn't. Okay, great. I will. Let me make sure that I actually, because she just does like this. She's bigger on Facebook. Well, they're bigger on Facebook because they're like an entire TV thing, which is interesting. Oh, it's just Cosmos Creative TV.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
I watched the first one, you know, because it, you know, all your shit fucking pops up on my nameless is going live. Nameless is going. So, so, you know, I was like, oh, okay, what the fuck's going on? Anyway, so, you know, I was watching it, and that was a fucking great one. But this one was, whether it was just my mindset that I'm in, but you just really reported so much great fucking shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I do want to talk about just a couple things that you said, because I think people need to know your awesome knowledge here.
Agreed.
I mean, and then we can, you know, and then I'll say my perspective too. But when she said that you're the leading face of narcissism, I did not have a like a competitive ping reaction. I was like,
see, that's I was because like she said that, and I was like so like validated, but at the same time I was like, fuck, I really hope Sarah, Tess, or Rich do not see this.
I swear I was like, fuck yes, man. Because I don't know if I was like transferring my feelings onto how you would feel in that moment, feeling validated for all the hard work that you do and all the research that you do, and, you know, whatever. I think that you're smart as fuck. And so, you know, and I'm an old lady, and I was just like, that's my boy, yeah. So I thought, yeah, that was really fun.
You're like you're like the mother figure that me and Tess never had.
Yes, you guys are an extension of me. You're like,
exactly.
The pie, you know. I always I always want them to look good out in the public. I might have been, you know, a shit to my daughter, you know, behind closed doors, but, you know, I was always like, that's mine, you know. So
well, I mean, like, because like you have like a unique position with me, because you basically threw me a bone when I was like just starting out, and like you were like, wait, like compared to me, I was like, oh my god, like cluster B milkshake. This is a lot of pressure. Holy shit. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So like you do get to take a little bit of pride in like where I'm at right now.
Well, I mean, because you were commenting, I saw you comment all the time and stuff, and I didn't even know that you had a channel. And then when you said, I'm not trying to plug myself here, and when you fucking said that, I was like, oh shit, he has a channel?
I was just like so I don't know. I always get like, I'm always like, I don't want to like tread on anybody else's territory. That seems shitty. I don't know.
No, I know, but I thought that was fucking so clever of a bait. I was like, holy shit. I got to go check this guy out. And so I went back, I checked you out, and I was like, motherfucker. So, and
you fucking I hate you. I hate you for knowing that was a bait. Fuck you.
No, it's fucking. So now I always think of that moment whenever I comment on anybody's fucking TikToks and shit. I'm just, look at me, come look at me, fucker. Yeah. Hey, whatever works. We have to work it, right?
No, honestly, I was God damn it. I'm like so embarrassed now. I should have known they would have seen like, oh my, because like this happens. Oh my God, it's so fucking funny because this happens with like, because like you just did to me. I didn't know the position in which Tess was until right now, because I will call her out for that shit kind of stuff all the time. Like doing like where she'll do this thing of like, oh well, like, oh, you don't think people like you pretend to be insecure so that but like you're secretly proud of it and you want the person to validate the thing that you're pretending to be insecure about, and like hold her out about that, and she got like really flustered, and I was like, yeah, well, fuck, you know what I am. And this is the first time somebody's actually called out something subtle I did like that, and I'm like, fuck.
Well, that's why but see, I've always done that my whole life. If I see some shit, I will say something, and then if they bite back, I'm just like, oh, you want to stay undercover? Okay. And then I never fucking say anything again. And I just let them be them, but I fucking see you. But yeah. One thing that you were talking about on the thingamajig was, and I'm just like, oh my God, I relate to this so much. Well, there's a couple things. I'm sorry, my mind, I'm just, okay. So, prove you love me by freaking out. Now, this is one thing that I so fucking relate to, that what kept me in a relationship with a borderline flavored person is because they always come back. They always come back. They're always chasing. And with my ex-husband, who had, you know, I can't, you know, diagnose him, but that motherfucker's narcissist too. I would have to berate him to get him to apologize to me because he wouldn't, you know, chase. It was a fight. But we like the fight. The fight means, you know, I care about you and stuff like that.
And it proves that you're not a goddamn pushover.
Yes. But with my recent ex, you said that everything perfect. It's we both want the fight. We're both not giving the fight. And so we're both like, okay, bye. And we're both like, fuck. You know? And so it's just like, the relationship is fucking over because none of us are gonna be you know, gonna chase the other one because it's too shameful, or we feel weak and you know, can't go.
That's something like, it's so hard because like you feel like, because the reaction always until I get to that point where I'm like, oh, I'm being abandoned, attacked, it's always like, if they pull back, I'm pulling back. Yeah. And that works for normal people. Like they will then chase you. or like borderlines too, usually. But if you're with somebody who also has kind of that more avoidance attachment style, ooh, like you just fucked yourself.
Yeah. Yes. And and then the flip side, how we're like, oh, well, we're trying to be better, so we have to have better communication skills. So I'm gonna, talk about getting my needs met. You're not gonna react the same way I want, and then my brain is gonna go back into the old way and fucking, I automatically am like, you're gone, fuck you, you're gone, always. And I don't really see it in that moment.
Yeah.
See that I'm being dismissive. I'm seeing that, in cold in my discard. I don't see how fucking evil it looks. Like, you meant nothing to me.
Like she, like, same. Like when she pointed at, when like we were talking about, like, because I think I'm going to make a video on this, the fake discard, as she put it, which I think was a great word for like what I was kind of describing. It did not even occur to me that it wasn't obvious for other people to be like, oh, it's like, oh, clearly he wants me to fight for him and stuff like that. Obviously.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking back at some of these messages I sent out. I'm like, yeah, no shit, they didn't text me back. I fucking attacked everything they're insecure about. And like, I'm like, whoa.
I know. I used to say, getting, discarding is a race. It's a race.
Yeah.
It's you feel insecure, somebody's pulling away, no matter what it is. In the very past, I wouldn't be as patient as I am now. As soon as I feel just a little bit of you pulling away, it's like, well, I'm out,
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel like a fucking pussy because I'm like, I gotta tell them how to get my needs met. And then if, that person still doesn't want to be receptive, then automatically I go into, oh, you're fucking devaluing me, whatever. My person must fucking laugh. When I was mad at them, they fucking laughed at me. And
okay. So this is the thing. I'm not a violent guy anymore. But like that reaction is probably what would get me to actually throw hands. If they laughed at me when I was getting up in their face.
Yeah. He was borderline who was violent. So he got a lot of violence from her because of the way that he would react. And it's like, I'm not saying that violence is okay, but they both have to see both parts in the shit. And I saw that he was damaging my calm. I'm trying to be as calm as possible. I'm trying not to get triggered by, your own projections. But I'm getting fucking tired of it. And I feel like a fucking pussy. I feel like a massive pussy. It's like,
because it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like healthy communication. It feels like, oh, I'm backing down each time. And like basically submitting, I guess, if that makes, I think that's the right word.
You know how if somebody doesn't, he's kind of letting themselves get beat up all the time. We don't respect that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here I am being like, okay, well, I don't want to fight you because my fighting is very toxic. I could bring up so much shit just to hurt you on purpose that I don't mean in the moment, but just to protect myself. And I didn't want to do that. So now I feel like this person thinks they get to walk all over me.
Yeah.
And now I have to get rid of the threat.
Oh my God.
Because I feel I just let my toxic shit come out like bees in a hive. And I was so fucking enraged that usually I'll shut down and leave when I discard somebody if I'm so overwhelmed. Fucking I will not even say a fucking word. I'll just yes, I will. blocked.
Yeah. It's like I was about to say, not a word. Are you sure? You got to have the last word is the thing.
My last word is blocking you everywhere.
Yeah.
And something's fun. I don't know if it was I think it was Sam Vaknin said that only psychopaths block you everywhere. I'm like, no. No. I will block you fucking everywhere if I want absolutely nothing to do with you for the rest.
If I need to teach them a fucking lesson, that's for sure. Like, I mean, like, it reminds me of this time that, like, I got into this argument with this girl I was really close to at the time. And, like, I felt like she was trying to, like, let me put it this way. I thought the ball was in her court. And I thought that she was trying to leverage my fear of abandonment. So I wrote a beautiful message that was basically the most guilt-tripping thing that you've ever read in your life. I was basically just kind of like, I tried so hard for you, but you've never been there for me, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, I added a little thing of, and I know you're going to show this to other people. So, and like, because that was the intent, right? Where it was like, I knew she was going to try to show people this. So I'm like, well, I have to cover my ass and make sure this looks really good so that when she shows everyone else this, they think she's the fucking asshole. Which worked. I sent that, then I blocked her literally everywhere. Which was like, but that's when you know, like, you're basically done. Like, it's like, is there a little part of me in the back of my head that's like, oh, I wish that person would come crawling back? Yeah, but will I ever reach out to her? God no. God no.
Yes. Another thing that you talked about was your perfect soulmate.
Yes.
You talked about wanting them to be separate from you, having their whole life or whatever, you two being two separate people.
Mm.
And you do not want somebody to enmesh in with you or whatever. Now, I don't know if this is different or very different. I do want somebody to have their own, goals and, things. I do want them to bring me in to their goals and their dreams when we get, our relationship is progressing. But I want to be a power couple with someone.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's him and
yes.
I against the world,
It can't be, I am a powerful person, then you do whatever I say. You aren't a partner. You are my slave. Like, you are nothing. Like, that's not a partner. I want to be like, it's like, us will fuck up anybody who, like, comes against us. 100%.
Yes. And for me, like I said, I said in the past, I want to melt into my partner. Now, it's not that I want it to be an us. So it's not, it's not like a borderline us thing, but it is like, I am your confidant. We talk shit about everyone else.
It's including them in the grandiosity. It's like, we're the best.
Idealizing my partner, and he has to idealize me back. And we always have to be on the same level,
Yes.
So, and I was working my ass off, no devaluing, no nothing. If something came into my head, I was like, let it go. This is who he is. Do not try to control this person. Don't do anything manipulative to try to keep yourself safe. Sit in your shame. Just fucking sit in it, and then let them be them. If you feel triggered by something, don't react, just all of this shit. And so I'm suffering in silence this whole time, thinking that I'm having this great fucking relationship because I am suffering.
Because you're like just fucking holding it all in, being like, I'm always wrong. Okay.
Well, no. But
it's like, okay. See, that's the thing, is that, like, it's this weird thing when for me at least, when I became self-aware, it's like, I know I'm right, but also I know everybody else is going to think that I'm wrong, so I'm going to pretend that I'm wrong to prove that I'm right, obviously.
Well, I'm sometimes when I would have a triggering event, I'm 100% right, no matter what. Fuck you. Then after I come out of that triggering event, I do see that I was projecting on my partner. That's where the shame sets in, because now I have to authentically apologize. Authentically, I have
God,
to.
what is that like?
It sucks. Because not only I cannot say I'm sorry for everything. I cannot say I'm sorry that I yelled at you. I cannot say any just blanketed statement. I have to go through the past event, when I felt triggered, who triggered me, meaning not my partner, somebody else, how it brought up my own trauma of something, and then I projected it onto you, and that is why I'm sorry. Yes, I went through the whole fucking and this.
You're far along than I am. That's for damn sure.
Yes, this is what I did for him, but he could not do the same. It was he would rather make an excuse, you know. And to me that looked like gaslighting, where it's he has too much shame to tell the truth. So that was the last, you know, to me I was like, be at my level, fucker. I sit in my shit. You need to sit in your shit too. And he's like, no fucking way, man. No way. And it's like, okay, then you're going to fucking lose the whole relationship because of it. And he did. And so it's like, okay. And now I have to be okay with that. Jesus. And whatever. I have to be okay with that. Now, if he learned, you know, later on to, you know, go through those steps and be self-reflective, even if you did it, you know, in the moment, and you came back, because I do it too, so I'm not going to shit on him for being able to be in the moment all the time, and be able to come back and shit. Fuck yeah, dude. I would have fucking made up, break up, make up, break up, make up, as long as that we were, you know, finding growing, right? Because you don't want to keep doing the same shit over and over and over again. Then it's like, why the fuck am I here if we're just beating each other up? Or, you know, I'm feeling devalued. You don't get to devalue me ever. You know, fuck you.
How dare you think you're better than me? Who the fuck do you think you are? You're nothing. You are nothing. Jesus.
Yes, and that's what I say. I say you're nothing when you try to devalue me or try to fuck with my shame in any way, or, you know, because it's an automatic response that we do that. We do it without thinking and stuff. But my automatic reaction is to emotionally kill you off. And I think the worst thing is for me to leave your life.
Yes, that's the ultimate punishment.
I think people should feel special that they're with me.
It just because, you know, I have like my fear of abandonment is like off the fucking charts too. So it's like, oh, I know the worst thing I can do to somebody to show them how they fucked up is to leave them, because that is the worst thing that you could do to me. And then it's also because for me it always presents as kind of this like, it's like this bit, it's almost like vulnerable. It's almost like a more vulnerable narcissist sort of thing of I did all these things to this person and they didn't appreciate any of it. They would have nothing without me. They're pathetic. They are the worst thing in the world, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, that's splitting.
What's that? That's
seeing them all as, you know, painting them black though.
Yeah.
And I did that too. And I wasn't thinking of nothing good about this person. And then after a couple weeks, I was watching Heal MPD, and I was just like, fuck.
Mark coming in here just make us feel like shit. It's like, god damn it, you're right, motherfucker.
Yes. When I watch, I was gonna make a video of mock therapy, how I would act to, because it goes through my head, how I react to a therapist, everything that they would say to me and how I would react to it, so, you know, underneath and what I would be showing to the therapist. And then that gives me fucking anxiety. Even when I was talking to Ruth Ann, you know, in a live, and then she brought something up, you know, just innocent, bringing up some shit about, you know, narcissistic personality disorder and our behaviors or whatever. I felt so fucking like shit. I was just like curling into myself, like, I gotta get out of here. And I was just freaking out. I was just
it's almost weird because like it hits me because like, you know, I've interviewed like a couple experts at this point and stuff like that. What really gets me is when like they when they're like compassionate and like, I'm like, okay, great. I love them being compassionate towards NPD, but like me in that moment, I'm like, they're like, it's like, you're like, yeah, you know, you guys are really good people and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, can you shut the fuck up? Don't say that. Don't tell me I'm a good person. Or like, who, I don't remember which one it was, but one of them after like the live ended, they were like, it's like, you know, Jacob, you're really long. There's like a lot of hope for you, and you're doing really great things, and all these things are really good. I'm like, please shut up. Don't tell me I'm smart. Tell me I'm handsome. Don't tell me I'm a good person, for fuck's sake.
yeah, I feel when I watch Mark channels, I feel like when you watch the whole video, I feel like he's saying, I know you're a piece of shit, but I love you anyway. That I feel, you know, and I'm just like, and it makes me all weepy. I'm like,
yeah. Oh my God. Yes. I know exactly. Like, okay, Eleanor Greenberg, this bitch, like, I don't know what it was, but I call her a bitch purely because she didn't reply to my email, reach out to her. I hate her for that now. But she like went to, what's it called? She had this interview that I was watching, and she has this book called Borderline Narcissistic and Schizoid Adaptations. Really great book. I love that book. It's awesome. But in it, well, I mean, like, but when she's talking about in this interview, she was like, well, I chose all these symbols because I wanted it to be like something that each person with this disorder would be proud of to like have and stuff. And then she chose like a star for NPD, which was stupid, but whatever. And then went on like, I call them personality adaptations because, like, you know, like I don't want them to feel like they're flawed and stuff like that. And just her talking about fucking somebody like me in like a way that wasn't just like, you're a terrible piece of shit. I like literally teared up and I was like, what is happening? Like, this is not like it's somebody thinks we're good. I'm like, fuck you.
I know. I hate that shit. I hate it. And I think my defense is, you know, I mean, I'll get anxious. When I get anxious, then, you know, I want to get angry and get rid of the threat or whatever. And then when I'm getting tapped into that inner, that mushy center, you know, and then I fucking hate, I hate to cry. I know I've done it on my shit, but I fucking hate it. I feel so weak.
I literally took down, like, okay, like this has happened 3 times so far. I keep taking down and putting back up my childhood video because I can't stand the fact that I tear up in it.
Yeah, I love that fucking video. I love it. It's so important.
I know, that's what I'm so torn about, because like on one hand I'm like, right now it's not up, and I get so ashamed about the fact that like, oh wow, they're seeing a lot of stuff right there. But on the other hand, I'm like, I look at the comments, I'm like, I just humanized NPD for like 1 billion people with this video.
Yes, put that fucker back.
I probably will.
Yes. Yeah. So the other night when I was doing my live and I was talking about how I failed at my relationship, it wasn't it had nothing to do with missing my partner. It had to do with the failure.
Yes.
The because I had to be perfect. I had to be perfect. I had to be perfect. Everything.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
It's not about missing them. It's about that I am flawed and that's why this didn't work out.
yes, it's like, what the fuck did I do wrong? I shouldn't have been devalued at all.
Yeah.
I was working so fucking hard, you know? Like just like, remember, I wouldn't do anything on the weekends. The weekends were for my, I was putting so much into this. It's like, I'm going to do, you know, I'm not doing anything at night either, you know, except for Monday. And I'm trying to have this great fucking relationship that I'm putting, you know, all of my time. I want to give my partner attention. And then it's like, how did I fuck this up, man? You know, I have I mean, I don't have a blueprint, but I was looking at, you know, what a healthy relationship is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm just like, and then you feel fake because, okay, this is new to me. And then it's like, oh my God, okay, I'm masking up sometimes. Okay, can I fucking tell him I'm masking up? No, because you're going to feel like a pussy. You know, it's like, and then you just keep masking up more and more and more. And then, you know, fuck it. And
I mean, and like, I feel like that because like I talk about this like a lot because it's probably the symptom that fucks with me the most is like the fakeness of like everything feels fucking fake and I hate it. I want it to stop. And it's like in relationships, I'm always like when I'm vulnerable, I'll be vulnerable with my partner and it will feel like I'm just doing it to garner sympathy or attention. And then it makes it not feel vulnerable. And I like don't know how to get around that.
To me, at least in the past, when I would be vulnerable, meaning the soft side, not like being completely honest about how I feel about it. I love to do that and not be criticized for it. Having a partner who doesn't criticize you for, you know, your point of view on shit, you know, is great. But I test my people. I will test them to see if I can be vulnerable in front of you. So I let myself, if I am in an emotional state, talking about something emotional, I will let myself cry. And I'm going to gauge motherfucker's reaction. Now, my tears are authentic. They're not fake.
But you're still paying, attention and being like,
bad response from them, it's never happening again.
Yes.
Ever. This happened with every single one of my relationships, even my last one. They could cry. They could do whatever the fuck they wanted, but I couldn't. So I'm just like, I'm not doing it anymore. And then you start, you know, keeping more secrets about your feelings to yourself. And you're devaluing your partner because
that's what it's kind of intrinsic in the issue here is the fact that like half the things we think and feel about people aren't really going to like. So it's like, how much of it can we be honest with? It's like they do something we're in our heads, we're thinking, well, that was fucking stupid. Why'd you do that? Like, whatever. But like, you have to be supportive because they're your partner. And it's like, how supportive can we really, how honest can we really be?
Well, one thing that I was doing in this relationship was I was making sure that if there was something that would trigger me to devalue them, I would automatically fight against it, always. Yeah. So I had to be on guard all the time and be like, my thought would be like, okay, you're going to respond this way. And I go, no, I'm not. And then I would not. And then I would say, this is who my partner is. And then I would have to go over a list in my head, all the good things about my partner. This is what I had to do the whole fucking time. If there was anything, you know, anything. And I'm like, no, he's blah, 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 blah.
I should literally memorize a list for shit like that because like I still fall into the fucking, like I will, like the best I can do is be like, I'm being fucking crazy right now. I'm going to step away for a little bit. And hope that they flip back to white.
Well, then another thing that I would start to do is if there was too much conflict going on and we were not able to um, hear each side. You know how you want to be heard. You want your fucking feelings validated on whatever, and you are not willing to hear them. Fuck you, you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. You know, and we're supposed to be listening to each other. Well, both of us heard. So when we would get to that, instead of elevating the fucking relationship or blowing up and breaking up and shit like that, I would leave and I would go back to my apartment. But I would say, I have to go. I'd be like, you know, I'm not breaking. I did this twice. I'm not breaking up with you, but I gotta go because we're not, you know, seeing eye to eye. The next day, I would be like, that was stupid. You know?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's like, we were dumbass with that.
Yeah. Like, if I have enough space where
I mean, personally, I would have just avoided them for like a fucking like couple days. But
no, but I'm trying to be fucking healthy, right?
yeah.
And I'm trying to communicate my shit, and I'm trying. But if you have to have the other person wanting to, number one, communicate their side without laughing at you, tearing you down, and then you also have to be willing to listen, and maybe you're wrong. That's one thing is when I split on somebody, I'm never wrong. I'm never wrong. So there's all this shit that I hate that I can't fix. I want a magic pill, motherfucker. I want a fucking magic pill. I want something that's gonna fix my fucking brain because I don't know how to not fucking hurt my relationships, even being self-aware. I thought being self-aware, I was gonna fix everything.
It and fix jack shit. It makes it basically you know what the issues are more or less, but like and that kind of gets me sometimes is that other people will be like, oh my god, like, well, if you're self-aware as a narcissist, well then you like basically that fixes it. It's like, no, these are like hardwired responses that are in us. We just know why we're doing them now.
Yeah. And then and then we get to feel all the shame for it. I never felt shame before. I because everything was everybody else's fault. I didn't have to look inward. I'm not saying that I didn't feel shame. I couldn't label it. Okay. I didn't know what shame was. Right.
Yeah. Yes. Because it was just, for me, it was the bad emotion. I just get really angry.
Yeah. Yes. So I never knew what it was until just a couple years ago. I had no idea. I would walk the earth being like, I got no shame. You know, your feelings are your feelings. You're fucking mad at me because I said that's your fucking fault.
So yeah, you're stupid. What the fuck's wrong with you? God.
Yes. And I didn't take any responsibility. I did, you know, I was a self-helper and stuff. So I was learning how to be more patient. I did learn for a long time not to let other people's shit trigger me, you know, so I wasn't combative a lot. I read a bunch of fucking child psychology shit so I can get along better with my fucking kids. I really tried hard, but as you see, no matter how hard we try and understand and fix, still the roots are so deep with this. There's I can't get away from it.
Like
And
it's
depressing.
it's like funny sometimes because it's like I'll know I'm doing something destructive and toxic, and like I'll have like a little fight in my mind being like, shouldn't be doing this, isn't what the rational thing to do, and like but then again, but I'm still right, and I just end up doing it because I'm an idiot. But like it's just like it feels like, because even though we know that we're disordered and that we are acting irrationally, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like everybody acts the same way and that we're acting completely rationally. And it takes and for me at least, it takes a lot of fucking like cognitive dissonance to be like, okay, stop. You're being fucking insane. Also, fucking my friend Seth is here and he came in asked what, and I'm curious if you're going to be able to answer this, but I want him to shut up. He asked, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
I can't answer that.
It's a Monty Python reference.
Oh no, I don't. I'm not a Monty Python person.
Seth, is it a European or African swallow? Anyways, now shut the fuck up, Seth.
No, the guy who was overeating and then says, "Would you like a mint?" And then he takes it and explodes. I know.
See, it was just like bothering me watching this because I was like Monty Python the Holy Grail. That's a popular thing. Someone's going to make Seth shut up here soon. And then, like nobody was getting it, and I was like, motherfucker. Okay, I guess I have to end this. Damn it, Seth.
No, but we can Star Wars all day long, though.
Oh, that's funny. At least, and also, sorry, I've been ignoring everybody in the chat. Hi, everybody. I recognize basically everybody who's been in the chat. Hi, guys. Christine, I see you. I saw like Eliza earlier. I saw a bunch of the finisher. I know all you guys. I recognize you. Love you all. But I'm I'm having a conversation.
I don't see anything. I guess I do have to press chat. I don't fucking.
Oh, do you not see anything? Oh shit. I gotta rename this. I gotta rename this live then because I put it as Ask Two Narcissists Anything, and I'm like, fucking maybe I should make it not as like misleading. Ooh.
Just listen. I know.
Yeah, honestly, listen to two narcissists talk about themselves.
Well, I ask questions. I want to know some shit.
I can put. Do you want me to put up some like because like we had a few, not many, but we can put up some that were. Actually, I have to use the bathroom, but James, my dude, asked something that might be interesting.
I'm afraid to press a button. I wonder if I press chat, it'll come up. You do your phone. Do you have a chat at the bottom?
Yeah, I have it on the side, and I can like 1 second. Let me. Here, I'll. Also, TJ Tampa, hi. Like I can just. Like, I can put things up like that if you want me to just do that for the rest of the time.
You anymore. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
All right.
So you can see the chat, but just not me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I can pick your voice, I guess. Okay, I gotta use the bathroom. Find something to answer, I guess. I'll be back.
Yeah, I don't see any questions. Let me see. Toad House, love you. Okay. I hate to leave my job here is done. All right. No bathroom breaks. Shit, I should go piss too. Oh no. Okay. I can't see any questions whatsoever. Let me see. One thing that oh my fucking God. Okay. So, I was going to ask Jacob if he sees forgiveness as a weakness. I wanted to know if he's being bad all the time, if, you know, with his people, his partners, his friends, and they just completely forgive them for being, you know, a toxic motherfucker, is if he's going to see, you know, his people as being weak or somebody he can walk all over. Now, I do know that he did say that he does lose respect for somebody who doesn't fight back with them. And I have to know if, even if that person fights back, but he's still fucking up, if it's, you know, still okay with him. Now, I never saw my people as weak for forgiving me, as long as there was communication between both of us, that we came to a conclusion. If you forgive me and I didn't take responsibility for shit, I'm not going to have any respect for you. But if I have to take responsibility and we both are vulnerable enough to get that, then I'm not going to lose respect for you. Does that make sense? I can't see no motherfucking chat. All right. So I guess I'm going to have to ask him that if after he shakes his ramalama ding dong. Hope he's not taking a shit. All right. Where the fuck is he? All right. Another question I wanted to ask is about betrayal, being betrayed. I felt betrayed by my sister. And so I cut her off and never spoke to her again. Felt betrayed by my mother. Never spoke to her again. Ever. And I don't care to go back. I don't care if they apologize. I'm not.
All right, I'm back, and I still can't believe you didn't know what the airborne velocity of an unladen swallow was. I'm so angry.
So I wanted to ask you, do you see forgiveness for yourself from other people, them forgiving you for being a toxic shitstorm, as a weakness?
This is complicated. It's weird because when okay, let me give an example. I was really drunk at a bachelor party, and there was a guy there who I kind of fucked over like years ago, and I was trashed, and I was like, man, like, well, first I said, and this is hilarious. I said, if you tell anybody I said this, I will deny it tooth and nail. And I said, but I just want you to know that I am sorry for what I did and stuff like that. I don't know how specific I got. I was really drunk. But he was like, Jacob, it's cool. I forgive you. And for some reason, that pissed me off. I was like, you forgive me? What do you mean you forgive me? And I'm sitting there being like, I just apologized or something. I'm being told I'm forgiven. And I'm still mad about it. I don't know why. So I'm not sure if I see it as a weakness, but it almost feels like an insult. It felt like an insult or something. Like, who do you think you are that you should forgive me? Like, what do I need to... You need to forgive me? I'm sorry? I honestly don't know what the fuck it was about. But yeah, it was funny like that.
How about, did you see him as being weak in taking your forgiveness?
See, that's what it is. Okay, actually, no, that's what it is. It's not so much that I felt like that's what it fucking is. Oh my God. So it wasn't so much that felt like I was mad that he was forgiving me. It felt like he was mocking me. It didn't feel like he was actually forgiving me. It felt like he was basically being like, oh, I forgive you or something like that. And he didn't do that. But it felt like it wasn't, it felt like he had the higher ground. It felt like that he was above me by having the authority to forgive me. It's like I'm a king. It's like, I pardon you or some shit.
That is so funny. Yeah. Well, yes. And yes, I relate. How about when you're in a partnership and your partner keeps forgiving you and you're not your past self, okay? You're not changing. And you keep acting as shit and they forgive you and you're not changing. And it keeps going and going and going.
I guess because back then I wasn't doing anything wrong.
But I'm saying, okay, so they don't have to say, I forgive you because you apologize, but them coming back is forgiving you. Them coming back is it was okay.
I did. So my last partner, this is one of the more toxic things that happened, is I almost had a moment where I was almost crying, basically telling her I need you to stand up to me. I would prefer you to abuse me than to be passive. And it was like a desperation. it wasn't even like I found her pathetic but I think it's part of it is because like I viewed her as like, oh, virtuous and good, whatever. It was like a desperation. It's like, you need to put me in my place. Please do that. I feel like the only times I do find, I guess from an outside perspective, though, I find forgiveness weak a lot of times. Like, I don't know, like depending on what the situation is. Like, for example, an easy one is like, like somebody was cheated on, that person forgives who the cheater was. I was like, that's stupid. But other than that, I don't know. I guess I've never really found somebody forgiving me to be as much as a weakness, but I guess that's because like I was usually just kind of relieved because everyone always thought I was crazy.
How do you feel about being betrayed by someone?
Betrayed? That is the word that has like that dominated my life and my angry outbursts like forever. Betrayal is like loyalty is the only thing I value. And looking back on it, kind of ironically, betrayal is the like you just like I like if you betray me, if I perceive you to have betrayed me, and you got run over by a bus, I would think justice, justice, hands down. Like I once okay, this is a story. I've people here probably know this for the most part. I once had a friend who he asked me if it was okay if he smoked with my sister, and I said yes, thinking, well, he'll know that that's not actually. This is just a politeness of me, so he still won't. But then he did, and then when that happened, I got so angry that I literally pinned him up against the wall with my arm by his neck. And like yelled in his face, like, you fucking betrayed me. Like, you know, I was like having a moment. I was like, you fucking betrayed me, just because of like that. And that's a huge thing too, is that anything can be perceived as betrayal. But yeah, betrayal is like the worst thing ever.
Yes. I have just gotten rid of my sibling for betrayal. I did go back to her once when I hit rock bottom, just to use her.
I felt that. It's like, I need somebody.
Yeah, but then she betrayed me again, and so I fucking just got rid of her forever. Do that with my mother too. But this is one story with Lee. Now, I am very fucking careful that I say nothing wrong about no one. No.
Yeah.
And
I'll talk shit. I don't give a fuck. But
so one time I was talking to this diagnosed psychopath, and he was talking to me in private messages, and he was talking some shit about Lee, and I was not talking shit about nothing. Now, he was doing lives every week with Lee, and I wasn't fucking saying nothing. Now, I never did a live on Instagram, and he's like, oh, let's do one together, the psychopath. So I'm like, okay. He came and he was asking me about his girlfriend, acting like, I want to get some knowledge from you. I want to understand, my ex and everything like that. When he got me on the live, he just exposed himself as being a fucking liar to me. And I sat there and he saw my face drop. And right then and there, he got all fucking nervous and shit.
Wait, what did he do? Like, how did he expose himself as a liar?
Because I started asking him some questions that we were talking about in private, and he fucking denied everything that he said. And he was the one that was the bad guy on the girlfriend, not the girl. Had to
Gotcha. Yeah.
Get my sympathies about his childhood trauma and his fucking mom just beating the shit out of him and everything like that. And I was trying to relate to him and everything. And then that was the first time when I was like, I'm never believing a motherfucker again, Anyways, he saw that in my face. He deleted the live. He went to Lee and he tried to throw me under the fucking bus and saying I said shit, I went straight to Lee. I went to the Instagram, and he was starting to erase all the messages, and I screenshot everything. Yeah. And then he couldn't get rid of the voice messages that he sent me. And I went straight to Lee, and I said, this motherfucker is trying to throw me under the bus and blah, blah, blah.
Good shit.
All the screenshots, I said, I can call you right now. You can listen to everything that I fucking said. You have to watch your fucking back, man. People are going to...
I felt that because my first reaction to that shit would have been immediately. Well, I probably have screenshotted it already. But what kind of shit was he talking about, Lee? That's fucking hilarious.
He said something like he doesn't think Lee is who he says he is. Something. He was very much devaluing who Lee was. And I'm like, and all I said, the only thing I told Lee right away too, I said, the only thing, if it comes off bad, the only thing I said is that you don't like to talk about your personal stuff because you're not comfortable doing that on your channel. That's all I fucking said. And I told that to Lee. I showed him the screenshot where I said that about him. And I'm like, motherfucker, I did nothing wrong. I did nothing. This guy went on a smear campaign and started smearing me and Lee all over his fucking channel. And then I went and I fucking smeared the fuck out of him on one of my videos.
Nice. Love it.
No way. You don't get to.
That's funny.
A smear, I mean a truth tell. This is a truth. And since he is fucking Looney Tunes, this guy, whether this was his, because he was feeling, I was shaming the shit out of him. I was shaming him. He's a liar. And I'm just like, you're fucking lying. I didn't understand how much power people have over us when they shame us if we are not stable enough to take that type of criticism. You know?
I mean, trust me, I know that. Like with all my stuff, I'm like, I'm terrified of opening up TikTok nowadays because I'm like, ooh, it's overwhelming the amount of like criticism I get, even though that like it's like 10-1 positive to negative, but it's like I feel crippled by it. Like Jesus.
Yeah, well, I do not. TikTok is not my thing. I probably old lady shit, right? I'd rather fucking be here. So
YouTube is home.
Yeah, so I don't post that much over there, and when I do get something negative, it's usually not on my shit. It's usually when I'm trying to educate somebody else on a narcissistic thing. And then when I'm trying to talk to them and they're like, yeah, that's what a narc would say. Oh, I see you're being narc.
Right. You literally can't say jack shit to them and then take it seriously because it's like, oh, you're manipulating me somehow. Like, Jesus. Like, I remember once, like, it was literally like this woman, like, said, like, a really nasty comment about narcissists. And I was like, I want to be a better person today. And I literally sent the response I said was, I was basically like, hey, listen, I get that, you're really hurt by someone in your life and like, that's completely valid. I really hope that you do well in your healing, but not all narcissists are like that. And a lot of us are like trying very hard to heal. And I feel like it's constructive towards everyone's healing if like we try to like, encourage that. And then she like comes back and is like, you're gaslighting me by assuming that I was, that I was like, oh, like upset or mad, blah, blah. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, you people, it's like talking to a damn brick wall. Also, Ray Justice, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Hey guys, what's new? Just want to ask if you either had any recent Rage episodes. Thanks for doing this. Thank you, Ray, for the $5.
Brad.
Exactly. I feel very pressured to always answer super chats. Yeah. But yeah, it's frustrating a lot of the times, to say the least. Do you have any recent? Because I haven't really had like a major raid. Well, I don't know. Have you had any rage episodes recently that you can really remember?
I had a rage episode, but I don't know if you've ever felt it. I'm sure you fucking have, where you're just really angry. You don't know where that anger is coming from, and you want it to explode. So you're gonna find a reason to get upset.
Yeah, just like, oh my god, like it's just like when you're in those moods, it's just like you're just angry. Like, I don't know how everything is pissing you off.
Yes, so I could have done something that would have just there would have been an easy solution, and I could have gone with my day. I was like, this is a great excuse for me to get enraged on, and then I can have my massive fucking meltdown and get I don't know if it was a rage moment. Probably I got upset. It was the last time that I saw my partner. And I got really fucking angry. And I usually don't like, you know, when you argue, but I was very like, this is my fucking karma, you know, that I'm trying to be this good person, and now I'm getting devalued and shit like that. I go, you're projecting your shit on me. This is my fucking karma. And then I fucking left, you know. There was other times when I was married at the end of my relationship where my husband was depressed. He's drinking all the time, which isn't helping. And he's being depressed and shit. And I felt like he was making it my fault. Now, people who are depressed, it's not the outside person's fault. This is really something that's fucking wrong. Okay, so he's depressed and he's sitting there all, you know, and he's supposed to be this strong man, never shows emotions. He's the one, and this is, you know, men should be able to show their emotions, okay? All right. But anyways, this was not my view of him. And he's sitting there and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm depressed, he said. I go, then go to the fucking doctor and get a pill for your shit. And I didn't care. I was like, act right. Mask up, you fuck. Why do I have to play the good guy? And you know, you get to crumble into shit. Fuck you, you know. And I was really fucking hating that motherfucker in that moment. I hope I didn't trigger you with, you know, mommy shit when I did that, but
No. Well, because it's like, I understand it. It's like there's like this, when people are just so down in their shit, it's like, what, you want me to throw you a pity party? Like, what the fuck? What do you expect out of this? It's so frustrating. Like I understand like, and it's like, okay, logically, obviously, I'm like, okay, yeah, like some people do get into states of depression or have major depressive disorder, whatever, and they need support, and like, you know, it's not necessarily their fault, but also fuck you.
Well, remember when you were talking on your other live that you said when you're feeling shame about yourself. So and being, you know, going through a depressive time period, you know, you're feeling all shitty about yourself. Yeah. You're valuing the fuck out of yourself, right? So you're sitting in all this garbage. And you said that you want from your partner just to kind of ignore it or distract and do something else. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to whatever. And one thing is, though, when we're sitting in our shit and we want our partner just to ignore it and everything, we're going to use our partner to project all that ugly shit onto. We are going to fucking abuse them so we don't have to sit with it. That is one thing that we have to not do. That, yes, let me sit in my shit, just distract me or whatever, so you don't bring any more attention to it. But I have to be aware enough that I'm not going to try to do the misery loves company crap.
Yeah.
So That is very important. So when my partner was feeling depressed and shit, I learned from my past, from my husband, I'm going to let my partner be sad, depressed. He's depressed. He doesn't say he's depressed. He says, I'm sad. Fine. You're fucking sad. Anyways, he, you know, wants to lay in bed in the dark and just watch movies. I would go in there and we would just fucking cuddle and drink all weekend. Didn't talk about nothing that was bothering him at all. Nothing. Yeah. I was just doing that every time or whatever until, you know, the shit got projected. I have even felt, I've heard his daughter talking to him, and she, to me, it felt like she shamed him for something, and I got that shame feeling in my chest, the room, and I'm like, fuck. And when I felt that, I got so angry in that moment, but I can't, you know, she's not my daughter. I can't shit on her or nothing. And I'm just
was that like secondhand embarrassment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I was
like I can't fucking deal with secondhand embarrassment. It fucks me up.
I was so fucking mad. And the whole time, when I went into the other room, I acted like nothing happened. He was acting like nothing happened, but I could fucking feel it in the air. And I kind of wanted to validate his feeling in that moment. But something in me said, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. So I didn't. But I got all that ugly shit projected on my ass. So I'm just like, shit, but I do want to talk about it later. So, but you know, I did that really cold discard thing, and I wanted him to fight for me, and he wouldn't do it.
Piece of shit.
I was so mean. I was so mean. I was just like nice, mean, like, I hope you learned something with your new relationship. I hope. Bye.
Or yeah, like fucking like my ex, she said something kind of like that, where she was like, I hope you learn something so you don't treat your next girlfriend like you did me. And I'm like, fuck you, bitch. Like, I didn't do shit.
Yeah. So that's what that's what I did, and I wanted him to, you know, no, we got to talk about this. This is not okay. This and then like take some responsibility. Okay, it wasn't a joke. I really was, you know, upset about the fucking thing. I shouldn't have fucking said it about you. I shouldn't have done that, you know. Quit fucking throwing me away. Quit being a bitch. Something. But that didn't happen. I got understood. That's what I got. That was the response. And I was just like, okay.
That's it. Just understood.
Yeah.
I would have threw my goddamn phone out the window. I would have been pissed.
Well, I was just like, well, fuck it. He's not going to fight. Then fuck it. And I have to just let that shit go. Of course, he came back 4 days later and said that he's fucking somebody else just to throw that in my face. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if it's real or he was just saying it to hurt me. He knew that was my final straw.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, once you're fucking somebody else, it's like done. That's like, there's nothing there now.
Yeah. And so what sucks is that I don't realize how bad I hurt someone until later. And so he has too much anxiety to sit and wait for me to realize, you know, that my discard was shit, but I really want you to fight for the relationship. And I would have. But he went into the memory file and he was like, what is the one thing that she said to do that she will never come back? So it's almost kind of like, haha, you hurt me. I'm going to hurt you the worst. And you're never going to come back. So you get to hate me. And, you know, like he wins, you know, like this thing. But if he thought that I was going to feel like shit, I felt like shit that he used, the key to lock me out of his life forever. That's what I feel like shit about. I think that him whoring himself out just to hurt me, he's below me now. He's below me. He
The
was
fact that how purposeful it was and how desperate he was to like try to hurt you in that way. It's like, oh wow, like even if it's true and stuff like that, you're really going out of your way that hard just to prove to me that like you're better off without me and shit like that.
I know. And I had this thought the other day too. Now, I think that I'm fucking better than anybody else in my age group, okay? You know, that he would be dating or whatever. I'm the fucking baddest motherfucker on the planet. So you throwing garbage at me is like, oh, what? You know, it's fucking stupid. And I feel like, at least for me, because I'm old as shit, when I've had, you know, people in my past try to do that to me, it's almost like you're trying to hurt me with other people, but it's just going into this black hole. Nothing's sticking.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to hurt me because you're hurt, and you're throwing the same trick in my face over and over. Oh, you cheated on me. Oh, you fucking oh, you're triangulating me. Okay. Fucking shit, different day. You know? So that's I think that because, you know, we wrote the book on this shit from childhood. This is the way our brain. So people throwing those types of tactics at me, I'm just like,
Yeah, it's so pathetic. It's like, oh, it's like, oh, you're being like they're basically all they're saying is like all they're doing is throwing that you're a narcissist in your face, and it's like, yeah, I'm fucking aware of that. Anyways, how about do you want to what real manipulation looks like? Do you want okay, because I'm sorry, this fucking discard, hoovering, love bombing, shit like that. That's not manipulation. They're just describing just kind of like some things that like kind of correlate with real like behaviors that we do sometimes. That's not manipulation though. I don't think any of those things will, I guess they can kind of be involved with it, but it's like it makes me so pissed off because I just want to like people will throw shit like that in our face and I want to just be like I want to show them what I can really do. You know what I mean? I want to really get in their head and fucking move the furniture around.
yes, I've yeah, people I don't sometimes I feel I have to tell myself that I can really hurt you if I wanted to, but I don't, so that makes me better than you still. So I don't have to punish the shit out of you, knowing that I can really fuck you up, and I'm better than you because I'm taking the high road. So I'm not gonna, you know, go that route. And then you look the fool. You're doing all this shit. That's why when I tell people when they want fucking revenge and do all this shit, and I'm like, you're gonna look the fucking fool, you know?
It feels like acting healthy though. It feels like everyone wins but me so much of the time. You know what I mean? It's like it's exhausting. I don't know.
Well, that's because we grew up thinking a totally different way. This is fucking full to us.
This is fucking crazy. Yeah, like I don't give a shit. Okay. Here's the thing. I have a friend who is a NPD who has been in remission for years, like because of therapy and shit like that. And even she is still convinced that we see the world more realistically than normal people. And I go back and forth between that all the time. I don't know which one is true there.
Yeah. Well, excuse me. When I'm reading this relationship book for couples that speaks about childhood trauma from both sides. It's not just one person who's having childhood trauma that's projected it off to you. You also have it too. And that we both love bomb. I say love bomb. They don't say anything. They're saying that they're on a pedestal. They're overlooking any red flags in both of you. So it just looks, you know, like a love bomb. They also say that both of us devalue each other because of our own childhood trauma. And this Yeah. And I don't know if it was you or somebody else who said the only difference is the discards. The discards are discards, that one of the things that keeps us apart from, you know, doing all these relationshipy shit traits of the love bombing and the devaluing and stuff,
Yeah.
is how we react when we're doing discarding. You know, we want them to fight for us. We act like they're nothing.
Yeah.
But we're you know, infants. I hate you, mom. You know.
Oh my God, this is a good parallel right there. Fuck. Oh fuck.
I'm breaking shit. I'm breaking my toys. Give me attention. Give me attention. Fuck you. Fuck you. You know, shit like that. And then, you know, you're supposed to run in, not just shut the door and let us have a fucking meltdown.
Yeah.
But some people will leave us alone and let us have a meltdown, you know, and then after we're done and we're fucking sad and crying and on the fucking floor and shit, if a compassionate person would come in and be like, okay, can we talk about this shit right now?
Yeah.
You know, talk about it. But usually they fucking shut the door and they're like, later, motherfucker. Bye. You know?
Which in fairness, I don't blame them for, because it's like, if we're doing that shit, we can't expect other people basically to pick up on our games and shit. Which sucks. We gotta fucking do it. I want them to take care of me like I'm a child.
Yes. Well,
also, I'm sorry. Give me like 2 seconds. I gotta pee again. Fuck. I drink too much beer.
I'll be done first, of course. I am sure. So, one time when I threw a massive tantrum and I was able to melt back into human form. Um, and my partner was forgave me for that. Now I had to take responsibility. So when I took responsibility for it and he forgave me and didn't shame me and shit for having this event, that is when I felt like he really loved me. That is when I felt that this is what love is. This is what love is. Seeing my fucking fucked up behavior. Now it's not like betrayal and cheating and shit like that. It's just, you know, me having my fucking rage out moment or whatever, me taking responsibility for it, him being willing to talk to me about it, and forgiving me. I felt I was loved for the first time. A real love connection. And now that shit is gone. He's all having a party and shit in the other fucking room. Talking to his roommates and crap. Ugh. Since I'm not drinking, I'm not as fucking charming. Okay, I did go to the bookstore today and I did get the 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. I'm hoping that that is going to so I don't have to get so much shit from the outside world, that I'll be able to somehow find it in myself. And I was reading some of the pages at the bookstore and it looked pretty promising. So we'll see how the fuck that works out for me. And then there's another one about How to be vulnerable. How to be vulnerable. I love books, so I can always keep going back to it. And so because my memory's shit. I don't know if Jacob ever talked to you about any of our memory malfunctions, but I fucking ask myself all the goddamn time because I can't remember
I'm
shit
back again.
or false.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
Oh, I showed the other books that I bought.
Oh, gotcha.
6 Pillars of Self-Esteem.
That sounds helpful.
Yes, if I can somehow find it in myself and not be looking at it so much on the outside world, then I won't get my heart fucking broken all the time when it doesn't, when people let me down, right? I don't fucking know, but we'll see. And then the other one is How to Be Vulnerable.
Ooh, wow, you really hitting the nail on the head with these so far.
I wasn't even looking for this shit. The only one I was looking for was the How to Quit Smoking one. That's the one that I was looking for. And there was only one copy left. The universe wants me to have this shit. And I was just, because my son was looking for the anime books.
Yeah.
Manga. And so I was just in the, of course, psychology section. And then I always like to look for the narcissist books, and it's all shit.
Yeah, like I don't think I've ever noticed like a genuinely good. Okay, like there's 2 books about narcissism that I've seen that have been like, oh yeah, good books. Mark Edenson's and then Wendy T. Berry's. Those are it.
Yeah, and I don't see him in fucking Barnes and Noble and shit.
Of course not.
No.
Like, how dare they have anything that would actually be helpful, literally anybody?
Yeah. The last time I was at the bookstore, I bought the gaslighting book, right? I just wanted to see what it had to say. And when I got it home, and you can return books 30 days, bro. You can fucking buy shit.
Using Barnes and Noble like a library.
Yes. Dude, I have done that throughout the fucking years. If I'm reading it and it's shit, I'm taking it back. I don't care. Some people feel like, oh my God, I just can't do that. I'm like, fuck you. This sucks.
Why can't you do that? Fuck that. It's a shitty book. Who cares?
Yeah. So I'm looking through it, and the person who wrote the book said that they weren't even using the shitty terms properly. They weren't even using, they were using splitting as triangulation. They didn't even know what the fuck splitting was. And
those are the most separate terms I've ever heard. What? How? This is going to show everybody. Okay, just because somebody wrote a book doesn't mean they know jack shit. HD Tudor fucking wrote several books.
I bought his No Contact book a long time ago.
Oh, please tell me how that is. I hear there's a bunch of typos in it.
The book, okay, if you're not a narcissist and you're reading this book, I mean, it looks so bad, so bad. Now, seeing it from a narcissistic point of view, we can look deeper and be like, okay, well, this is why I do this. And this is why. He does that a little tiny bit, but he's so like, the what is he called? The ultra.
Oh yeah, he's the ultra. Oh.
Yeah, ultra. And then a lesser will do this.
I love how his narcissistic hierarchical thinking manifests in his content like that, where he's like, well, there's the lesser narcissist, and then there's the middle narcissist, and of course I'm the ultra narcissist. I'm like, fucking Christ, like, can you not see how your pathology is ruling you right now?
Yeah, well, he gets off on it. So, and that's how he gets all of his attention, being the bad guy. And of course, everybody's going to feed into it. He's not going to, I've watched his videos in the past, and sometimes he will say, the vulnerable side, why he does that, but he still makes look like appliances.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And it's like, okay, I understand how it comes off that way. And sometimes to us, because we're using you to build up our self-esteem, we want to look good and everything like that. I know you're a person, but your usefulness is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I also
These are the roles that you were made for.
well, yeah, and I do care about specific people, even if it is I'm getting my needs met. You're really fucking great because you're giving me fucking a lot.
You're part of me. You're my friend. That means that like you're the best thing that's ever happened too, because I'm the best thing that's ever happened.
Yeah. So there's so much more into what the thing, the background of what we do. He's just putting, showing you the fucking curtain. That's it.
Not like he's showing a fucking play too. Is that like he's showing the curtain and then he's like building it up. Like you listen to him and you're like, oh yeah, these are vampires and werewolves. This is a Tolkien-esque like fantasy novel right now. It's so dramatic and like just dehumanizing too, to a huge degree.
Yes, and with the vampire shit, and the mentality, the angry mob.
Mm-hmm.
When I try to fight against it, and they don't want to bend, and be like, okay, I understand and stuff, and they're just being really, how we were talking about, we do want to tear them apart. I fight with, like, you want a fucking monster? I will fucking show, and then that's, now I'm proving them right and blah, blah, blah. But I try to warn people because the narcissistic people that aren't aware of their automatic, they do shit unconsciously and stuff. And they attack, they will punish the shit out of you. And a lot of ones that are a little bit more unhinged will destroy your world.
Yeah.
And
represent back in the day.
It's like, please stop poking the bear, dude. Don't poke your people. Please, if this person is not going to even try to meet you halfway and you need to go, like it's way too fucking toxic in the relationship and everything, please go and don't fuck with them because they're going to fuck with you. Because the person who was in a relationship with us, if they were not disordered, I love disordered men, okay? But if they were not disordered, your brain doesn't think like our brain. And it's almost like you're a very, you're cotton candy. You're very soft. You're not calloused up, in the heart. And you've been, broken down over time. And I'm just going to throw a bucket of water on your fucking cotton candy and turn you into nothing. And then walk away. It's fucking, walk away. And then, you're going to go on your own smear campaign. And this person is just evil and terrible and everything. You understand that their truth-telling smears are no different than my truth-telling smears. This is my truth.
Like everybody engages in this kind of like public relations goddamn campaign afterwards. It's just that the only difference with us is that we're delusional and we think that some things happened that actually didn't, and we are good at convincing people that those things happened.
Yes. One time when I got into a fight with my person, and I was making videos and shit, and I did not realize it in the moment that I was only talking about my perspective because fuck him, I don't see his perspective.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know you're doing a smear light right now.
Smear light.
Oh shit. And then whatever. We took responsibility for the thing. I exposed myself for every fucked up thing that I do, dude. Every time my shit was on, you know, total blast. I was a goddamn soap opera. Anytime I would fuck up, I would say, this is what damn, this is what I was blaming him for. This is how, you know, the conflict even got bigger. And this is me and my meltdown. This is how I fucking took responsibility for it. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm giving them the fucking blueprint. Burr, 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 burr.
See, it's so hard because like nowadays for me, it's like, I know, like, fuck, it gets difficult because there's like a couple people that I want to make videos about in those situations, but I know that they know my channel, that they watch my shit consistently, and I'm like, motherfucker, I can't talk about them now because then they'll know what I was actually thinking.
That sucks. You got too many friends, dude.
I fucking do. I got too many friends, too many lovers, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I have to, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I spent my whole life wanting to spill what is been trapped inside of me my whole life. And I have never been able to do it. And after getting a divorce, and I was just like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't need to save anybody's feelings. I don't need to mask up for anyone anymore. The only people I have to tell are my children.
Yeah.
My mom's never going to find out.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, fucking see how that went. Like literally like fucking like seeing that like saga of like your mom finding out, I'm like, damn, so my worst nightmare right there. Jesus Christ. That was also like part of what, like that's also like my huge fear is my fucking parents finding my fucking childhood video and I'll be like, God damn it, like I have to deal with this now.
Okay, well, that is understandable wanting to hide that. I didn't hide it. I'm like, watch it because this is my perspective. If my kids talk shit about me, that is how they grew up. That's how they felt. And I'm not going to not validate that, even though my perspective is different. And I did a video on each child. I did a video on me being a parent. I even wanted them to come on and they won't, except for Mikey. But the adults, they won't do it because I don't think they want to shame me. And it's like, okay, you know. And I said, you can talk shit about me. It's okay. And they're like, uh-uh.
Oh, you know what? We know what happens then.
So I'm not trying to keep them away, you know, from anything. And like I've always, you know, you and I discussed before, we always wanted our partners to talk about how they feel about, you know, us, how they feel or have some sort of communication about whatever. And it's like, you know, my partner doesn't want to be that vulnerable to share.
Yeah.
And this is where, you know, in the beginning of the relationship, how you're put on your best behavior and you're like, I'm like, I'm fucking, you know, YouTube person and I'm going to put our relationship on blast. Are you okay with that? You know, and to be with me, you have to say yes. Otherwise, bye.
See, I have to keep that into account next time because last relationship I was in, she would like see one of my videos and be like, I don't like that you were talking about a relationship there. And I was like, you know, this is how I get my, like, this is how I vent. This is my emotional regulation right here. Like, I'm not saying your name. Nobody knows who you are. It's just about me. And she's like, well, it's still so public and it sounds bad. And I'm like, stop being a bitch. but like, I have to like definitely go into my next relationship being like, yeah, this is going to happen. And honestly, I'm probably going to tell them like, you probably shouldn't watch my videos about our relationship because you probably aren't going to like what you hear.
Well, thankfully, he didn't say, don't talk about it. I had boundaries with him where I didn't talk about his childhood trauma.
Yeah.
So that I never brought that up, but I bring up, you know, our relationship and I talk about my past. you know. So the only thing that sucks too is, you know, I had to tell him, maybe you shouldn't watch my videos, because if it's going to fuck with your head, seeing how I talk about my old self, because how are they supposed to split the two?
No, exactly. It's like they're going to, because like they watch it and they're like, and then, well, because that's the thing, they view everything you do through the lens of the narcissism and the mental illness itself. It's like, oh, well, like they said this. What if they were secretly manipulating me because they're the evil narcissist?
Yeah. And the thing is, because he's antisocial personality disorder, which is, you know, he's got narcissism too, that he's only looking at it, he's not looking at himself.
Yeah.
He's me. You know, he's just looking at me. What is she doing to me? What is she, you know, how is she?
And I don't know, did he have like really bad paranoia?
Yes.
I have a really good friend who has ASPD and BPD, and like the dude is paranoid as hell. And I like, dude, and it's like him being able to like see like how you're thinking and how you would think and stuff like that, and then being able to apply that to the situation that you guys are in. Doesn't seem like a great situation.
No, I had to I wanted to be so completely open. I gave him a list of all of my passwords. He can check on me anytime he wants. For a little while, we did the locator, the tracking thing, and he saw it. And I always tell him where I'm going and when I come home, but I love that. So it was never, I didn't feel like he was controlling me in any way, and he would do the same for me. So everything was reciprocated, you know, and we checked in all day long. So I felt fucking great, and he felt fucking safe, I thought. But in the beginning of the relationship, he would say, how come you moved your cup? Like from, you know, why isn't your cup in the sink? Why is it on the side? And I'm just like, you know, and I had to explain that I never put my cup in the sink and blah, blah, blah. I'm not trying to fuck with you or anything. It's just, you know, whatever. One time he found 2 pennies on his bed, and he thought that I planted them there, when all I did was like take my pants upside down, you know, and then like whatever. And if there was pennies there, I didn't do shit.
Why would you plant them there?
Paranoid people.
Yeah, but I'm like that one even blew my mind. I was like, sorry, like what would be the point?
And then another time he saw a smear of blood on the tissue paper when I was on my period. I bleed like Freddy Krueger's my fucking gynecologist. Okay, I'm sorry, but this is relevant because obviously, you know, I'm messy as shit, and he thought that I planted that there too. So there's these things in the beginning of the relationship that he had to believe me when I said, I swear to fuck. I tell him, I said, put cameras around the house. I don't care. I prefer it, actually, because I prefer us being recorded all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like we're gaslighting each other. I prefer to critique all of our arguments. I would love it. And he was like, no, that's going too far. But I'm just like, I don't care. And then he says, did you ever plant any listening devices in the house or cameras? And I'm like, no, but I thought you did. And we laughed about it, you know, because I'm like, I don't do anything, so I don't care, you know. It doesn't bug me. I don't care, you know. I'm trying to be a very good partner, and I want to prove it so bad. And so now I have to prove it to the antisocial, the narcissist, and the paranoid personality disordered person. All of these things. I was, and I know that he is suffering triple time and trying to, you know, work through those things too. And I was trying to be as patient and struggling with my shit. And what was funny is he's saying, how how come I can't have a fucking meltdown? How come, you know, all you, because his daughter, how come you guys can like have one time a month where you lose your shit and I have to be the one that's always in control? And I'm like, motherfucker, you really think
Like, let's talk about, hey, remember that time that I had 2 pennies on the fucking bed? Because, oh my God, that's just so fucking funny. Because, like, I actually am curious, how bad is your paranoia? Because mine it can be bad, but like, there's usually like a situation around it, if that makes sense. It's like, oh, like I'm like arguing with somebody and I'm like, oh, they did this on purpose then. They did this on, oh wait, they did that. That means they must be doing, like, for example, me and fuck, should I even talk about that? Okay, I had a friend who we kind of had like a little bit of who was also a narcissist. We got into a little bit of a like competitive thing where they were feeling very insecure. And they posted something on their Instagram that was, I can't be super specific because then like people will just know what I'm talking about. But like, I was like, oh, they did that on purpose. They did that on purpose to fuck with me because like they were feeling so insecure because I'm so much better than them and they know that. Or like, I don't know. I guess the most crazy one was when I was like a kid, not a kid, but like I was like in high school. And like, I thought that this one was really weird. It was like, well, what if my crush is recording me through the eyes of my mom's cats? Which was crazy. And here's the thing. I was like, well, I know that's not happening, but just in case it is, I'm going to out loud say things that I want them to hear. This was a really good one. What's her face? So I forget do you know Sociopath Girl? I fucking forget what her name is. Like Katrina Blanta or whatever the fuck.
Patra. Can you come
Yeah.
up? Okay.
Yeah, she blocked me. Well, okay, no, like, okay, well, this was a whole saga because she left a comment that basically was like in essence accusing me of copying her, of like, you know, I'm a diagnosed narcissist, she's a diagnosed sociopath, whatever. And I sent like I made this long response of like, don't accuse me of copying you. I respect you, but like I didn't even know who you were when I first started this shit. Piss off. And then she was like, it was a joke, man. And I was like, oh, we're in a game now because now she's trying to make me look like I'm fucking crazy for thinking that was an insult. It was an insult. I still think that was an insult. I'm like, that was an insult. I am going to fucking reply. I am going to reply so kind, sickly sweet. I'm like, I'm so sorry. My MPD gets to me sometimes, like, et cetera, et cetera. Then she followed me back then she followed me. I even had a DM conversation with her and I forget what she said, but she did something and like, I can feel it. I can feel it in the entire conversation. We were having like a silent battle. I know it. I know that we were.
Yes.
Especially since I didn't. Then she posted 2 videos in a row about manipulating narcissists. And I was like, interesting, bitch. And I was so tempted to like make a similar video that was also kind of like that, but I didn't because I was being the better person because my ASPD friend talked me down. And then she blocked me. And then I was like, for like 3 days, I was in my Discord server. I was typing in lies in there because I was convinced she had spies. So that was that.
Yeah, you sent me the private message.
Yeah. Okay, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And I was like, you guys are trying to bullshit each other. You guys know you're fucking with each other. I saw it and I'm like, you guys are fucking with each other. And you know, both of you guys are fucking with each other. It's so shallow.
It was like so, like it felt so obvious that we were both playing fucking games with each other. But then I was like, she's getting under my skin though, because I'm getting pissed off about it. And I'm like, so she's winning. Fuck.
I cannot think of a memory where my paranoia fucking me that hard, except for when I was with my recent ex and we were at the club and one of his bandmates who I never fucking have a conversation with asked me to go into another room. And he's talking to me and like showing me around and everything. And right away, I was like, what the fuck is my boyfriend doing right now? Why am I being distracted? I was fucking just trying to keep my rage down, you know? And I'm just so fucking pissed. And so in my head, I'm like, what? Is he doing drugs in the back? What the fuck is going on? You know? And so I didn't want to say anything until the show was over because I didn't want to get into a fight and make him, you know, so he is distracted. So I waited until he was all done loading up in the truck. We get into the truck. He starts up the truck. And I go, were you doing shady shit? Just right off the bat. Were you doing shady shit when before your show? And I was very accusatory and everything. And at first he was, because, you know, we were drinking and everything. And he started laughing. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, no, I was, you know, and he was, because I was like very like, you know, and he's just like, no, I wasn't doing anything. I was, you know, and he fucking just, he's an over explainer too, because he was gaslit to death by his mother. So he feels like he has to over explain everything, you know, because, oh my God. Anyway, he does this for everything. So he's over explaining himself. And I'm just like, okay, you don't, you know, it's fine or whatever. But yeah, when my brain starts to go into crazy land.
Yeah, it just kind of spirals from there down into fucking.
Yeah. Like, I'll start bringing up or acting like detective, like something in the past, right? Because of your behavior now.
Yeah.
So like, you know, he's throwing another girl in my face, which, and all I said was, thank you for letting me know. I will move on too. By the way, I didn't fucking say nothing.
Power move.
I thought, okay, well, we broke up once for a few days in the past. And he went to a show, you know, he had a show, and it was, you know, where it was snowing really bad. They got snowed in. Him and his bandmate had to stay in a hotel. And when we got back together, I'm like, did you stay in the hotel alone? And he said, yes. And I'm like, okay. And then there was this one groupie there. Now she has a boyfriend, but she was devaluing her boyfriend at that show. She shows up at the next show. We're back together, and she's there again with one of her friends. And she's devaluing her boyfriend to me. And I switched the devalue around to make her, you know, paint him white again, being the good fucking mental health supporter that I am. But after the show, driving home, my boyfriend asked me, oh, you were talking to so-and-so? What did so-and-so say? And I'm like, huh, so-and-so was at the other show when you weren't with me. Now you're asking me what I was talking about with so-and-so. And now you're throwing some motherfucking bitch in my face now. Could you have been fucking around with her at the other fucking show? And this is what's going in my head now. Now my boyfriend's a cheater. Now my boyfriend fucking runs to yeah. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter, because now this is the way that my brain is thinking. I told him this too. He lied to me about something. I caught him in a lie. It was something so stupid. I caught him in a lie, and, you know, he copped to it. He had a lot of shame for, you know, something. And I said, if you lie to me over small things, I'm going to think that you're lying to me over everything. So
What? See, that's funny for me. It's because it's so weird when it comes to lying about small things to everything. It's like I can be lied about small things and not really give a shit. But then it's the situation where I suspect you of lying. That's when it comes up. It's like, oh, well, you're capable of lying. You're probably lying to me. I don't really like, it's like, but I like respect it to a weird degree. I'm like, I get it. Like, you know, you lie. Everybody lies. It is what it is. But also you're a piece of shit and I want to destroy you because I'm convinced that you're lying to me right now.
Well, that's where I would idealize my partner on the same level as me. Is you don't lie to me, you lie to everybody else. You don't fake with me, you fake with everybody else.
Yeah.
You don't gaslight me, you gaslight everybody else. You nothing. You don't know. Same level, motherfucker. Otherwise, if you try to devalue me, I'm going to get rid of you. And if you do fucked up shit where I'm going to devalue you, I'm going to get rid of you.
It's just so hard to assume that somebody's telling the truth at any time.
That is, okay, I don't trust anyone. But this person, because he's paranoid, he shows me proof of everything. I'm talking documents and fucking proof of everything. He gave me all his passwords. I looked at all of his messages from 3 years. 3 years. Never once did he have a conversation with a woman. Because he looks at them as below him. Just regular, like, groupie people and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, years. This person, there wasn't erased shit. There was people trying to flirt with him, and he was just like, okay, yes, okay, whatever, you know. And I'm just like, oh, well, I feel pretty fucking, you know, safe as a girlfriend that even if I did see him fucking around with somebody, it was years ago. Give me a break. You know, I wouldn't want my partner to shit on me for something I did in the past.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was nothing there. Nothing. I had his passwords. So anybody who come on, I can check his message and see his messaging. Nothing. I was with him for a year. Nothing. I had everything. He had my shit too. So it's like, I trusted him. And anytime when he would try to do some fucked up thing, like I would let him know. I'd say, you're planting seeds right now. And you're not going to like what's going to fucking grow from that shit. You want me to trust you and everything? Don't fucking do that. You know, don't try to throw some other chick in my face. Don't do that. Because I will fucking leave you. I don't play that shit. You're supposed to be my perfect partner, you fuck. You know? You're not don't play with my head. So I understand we're disordered. So we're going to do fucked up things unintentionally, but don't do them intentionally. Don't fuck with me, you know?
Sorry, I got distracted. I'm going to ban a couple people from my chat real quick because they're annoying me.
My battery's about to fucking die.
Or, 1 sec.
We can go in a couple minutes, or I can go.
All right. Oh shit! It's almost 10:58. Okay. Fuck. I did not realize. Just like somebody was like, fuck. There's a couple people just being fucking dumbasses in the chat, and I'm like, why are you guys so impolite? I want to give them a chance, or whatever. Anyways, okay. Let's like take like one more question from the chat then. So,
okay.
And like address that. Yeah, never okay to be a bad guest. Exactly. Be polite. You're in my home.
Yes. God. Can block you so easily. And then you can stay, you know, in your victim mentality for the rest of your life.
Oh, it's funny. So there's this woman who she's like one of your stereotypical like narc coach kind of people, you know what I mean? And like she's pretty small, but she was in my chat every time that I was like someone asked me a question and then she would come and like probably contradict me. And she would contradict me and like say like, no, narcissists only do it for this reason, stuff like that.
She's not the Russian.
No, not the Russian.
Okay.
Some random chick. I forget what her name is. I don't really care. It was like fucking narcs hate that they love me or something like that. I don't remember what it is. And like, so I block her and she made a whole hate video on me. And then in the video, she bragged about the fact that she tried to gaslight one of my audience because somebody was like, well, what fucking credentials do you have to talk about this? And she said that she had a psychology degree. In the video, she bragged about the fact that she lied that she didn't actually have a psychology degree and shit like that. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Fuck, she's probably a disordered fuck herself.
Yeah, fucking she, or just a bitch. Like that's I'm always like, I see somebody like mean, and I'm always like, they can't be a narcissist. They're not in my club.
Dude, I had that fucking Russian chick not only stealing all of our content, she was messaging me and she was so entitled to answer from me. She was just her manipulation and the way I was getting childhood triggered. Like, this is mommy shit. I was just like, it made me so fucking, I was like, you are so fucking disordered, you fucking cunt. Oh my God. And I went after her. I went fucking she's copywriting. I got her channel fucking removed.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fun.
Yeah, and then she fucking came back and do it again, and I fucking did it again. And I'm like, you better put who I am in there if you're going to use any clip of me. And if you're, you know, my whole fucking bullshit, you better be giving me fucking credit, or that's a copyright infringement. And I'm going to fuck you up, man.
See, I let that get, because it was okay letting that, because she was linking me. So I was like, fucking whatever. What started pissing me off is some of her like followers will like come to me, like basically harassing me, being like, oh, why won't you go live with like this girl or whatever? And I was like, oh no, you don't tell me what to do. So I flagged all of her shit and got it taken down. That was fun. Then I also accidentally flagged one of Wendy T. Berry's things, and that was humiliating. But like, other than that, I don't know. I'm like, I swear to God, whenever I'm like, one more question, like nobody wants to ask any questions and shit like that.
I know it's late, and so they're probably just like listening to us just fucking ramble. I know it's very weird not drinking, you know. Sometimes I feel.
Sort of imagine.
Well, I mean, I don't have like that anxiety, but I don't feel like I'm as charming.
Yeah, I know it should be. You don't have the confidence. It's like, oh, how am I supposed to be funny and awesome and stuff like that?
I know. And then I'm not so quick. I feel like I'm not so quick to jump on things, you know, because my mind is now slowing down. You probably don't know you have ADHD, and I'm jealous sometimes.
Well, the only reason to be jealous is because I get Adderall for it. So
I know, and I used to do meth, so I love that.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to quit smoking and no more coughing on my fucking videos. It's humiliating.
Okay, so we got a good question though. What qualities does a narcissist admire in somebody?
Me, I admired things in all my partners different. There was no one thing. Like I admired my antisocial first husband. He was a criminal and he was just master manipulator, and he didn't fucking care and everything. But when I wanted him to, let's do family time and not be drug addicts and stuff anymore, he couldn't, he couldn't do it. And so obviously I left him and devalued the shit out of him in fights and stuff. Anyway, so being young, I admired the bad boy, the criminal in him. And then when I had my second husband, I admired his grandiosity. I loved it. I loved that he was like, look at me. I mean, fucking peacock, big time. And he could tear anyone down. Nobody could ever shame him without getting a smack down, just a verbal all the time. It was just like, he was just so fucking amazing in the way that he would do that. And he was an extrovert. So I'm an introvert. So he matched my, opposite, really well. And I was a sit back and a watch, and he could just pull conversations out of his ass. And I'm just like, oh my God. And so I'm just watching this person, do these things. And of course, I devalued him for other things over time. Then my emotional affair, the borderline. I loved how he was so insecure about his art and everything, and he was fucking fantastic. And I just loved his mind, and he's so creative. And I love that he loved that I put him on a pedestal. You can yawn, it's cool. And that I could and I put him on a pedestal, and he put me on a pedestal. And he always chased me, always chased me, always chased me. So I felt special. And then my last boyfriend, we were so fucking alike. Anything. We used to say same brain, same brain. Anytime he'd say something, I was thinking it. Or we would text the same thing at the same fucking time.
That's awesome. I crave that.
Yes, all the time, everything. It was just so fucking great. And I loved just making him feel good. I loved, and I was not a physical toucher. And I just fucking loved smothering the shit out of him and everything. And it was just so fucking wonderful. So different things that I really loved. It's almost like these are the things that I really loved about my parents. And then the things that about my parents is what came out in the end. And that's where, all my transference of fucking garbage.
Because, like, I have a similar thing where it's like, I feel like each of my exes, they had, like, each of them had, like, this role. You know what I mean? They had, like, oh, this is, like, because, like, my first girlfriend ever was the one that, I guess the one that got away, for lack of a better word, because this was when I was, like, early high school. She had a crush on me. She had a boyfriend, though, and she chose the boyfriend. I was, like, devastated. I was like, fuck. So I spent a year getting her back, and I did. And I dated her, took her virginity, and broke up with her before prom. Go me. And so, but, like, that was a whole narrative of, oh, my God, this is the one that got away. I need to have her back. Like, we were meant to be together, whatever. And then I get her, and I'm immediately like, oh, no, I don't like her. And then fucking, then there was my borderline, who was like my Romeo and Juliet, where it feels like everything was like, oh, we were meant to be together, but like we can't for this reason, or like this happens and we can't be together. Oh, I'm with this person right now. You're with that person, like constantly.
Yep.
And then there was M. I don't even know what the fuck I saw in this girl. Like, I think it was just, because like that was a weird point in my life, because like that was when like I realized like, oh, my childhood was fucked up. And like she also had a fucked up childhood. And there was almost like, I wish I could describe better like what that role was. Like the refreshingness of like, oh, we can relate to each other about that. It's like, oh, this is someone that's going to take care of me and understands this, whatever. She may have had the same role as then another girl that I dated, who she was like, oh, like she understands, because like she had like some major narcissistic traits, and she even acknowledged that. And like I was like, oh, this is somebody that understands me. Finally, somebody understands me. But she didn't really have it was weird, because I think it was just that she had grandiosity and stuff like that. She didn't have any vulnerable shit going on.
Were you with her long enough to fucking see?
I don't know. That's the question, right? I was only with her for like fucking 6 months, give or take.
Yeah.
So I would say, given how self-aware she was, I would say I was, just because I feel like I would have seen it, that she would have told me about it, just given how self-aware she was, but it's hard to say. But then again, I guess, did she even see any of my vulnerable shit? She may have not.
It also depends on how often you are with each other, because you can mask up very well, you know, and It depends on if there's any triggering events.
Well, that's the thing that was that, like, she would say, like, that's what made me be like, you're not a narcissist, is that she would describe like unmasking. And I'm like, what do you mean? You don't feel fake all the time? You're not always a mask? What does that mean? And that's why I think she's not a narcissist, I'm being honest.
Yeah. I felt like the only time I would ever get to be myself was with my recent ex, before any you know, devaluing and shit.
Yeah.
That was the only, that's when I felt like I can be who I want to be. Oh my God, this is so great. You know?
I kind of get, like, I still feel like kind of a performance, but like I have one person I'm very close to in my life. Okay, I'll just fucking be honest about it. It's like my borderline traits ex is like whenever I'm around her or like talking to her, I can just be as just like, not shitty, but I can just be very earnest with what I'm thinking about somebody and stuff like that. And she's not going to like approve of it, but she'll just kind of like, she'll be entertained by it or tolerate it, which I'm like, that's more than I asked for. That's more than I expect from anybody else. So fuck it.
No, I want my person to tolerate all of it. And one thing, like, you know, we were on the same page for everything. During the last week before the breakup, I'm talking shit about somebody on fucking TV, and he's defending her. And I'm like, what? And so I knew that he was doing that on purpose just to piss me off. And I'm like, we don't do this. You know, you don't challenge me ever. If I feel something towards somebody, you know how I'm feeling.
United front.
Yeah, even if you don't feel the same way about that person, you understand why I feel that way about that person. You know? You don't challenge me and tell me I shouldn't feel the way I feel. Or he said, I don't know her, so I don't know. Fuck you.
What the fuck? I don't know her, so I don't know. Look at what? Look at her. Fuck you.
It's like, none of us know her. These are my feelings, you dumb fuck.
Oh my God, that's funny. No, like oh my God. I don't know. I swear, I hear. That pissed me off. I was like, what do you mean you don't? Yeah, I don't. Of course I don't know her, but look at her. She's a bitch.
I know, it's so fucking, oh my God. So I'm like, okay, I lost my equal. And that in itself is heartbreaking. So you need to go to sleep.
No, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fucking I'm not drunk, but I'm like tipsy, and I'm also like, oh, it is late because it's like 11 o'clock here. I'm like, oh man, I'm fucking tired.
Late. I thought we were gonna like do it at 3 or some shit.
Yeah, well, because I want to do it like because like I messaged you and I'm like I messaged you about it, and then I was like, oh yeah, I can do it Tuesday. It'll be awesome. And I'm like, oh fuck, I had that other live that day. Well, guess we're doing it at 9.
Yeah, that live was fucking great. That's like watching a documentary, and this is like Comedy Central.
Yeah, honestly. That's oh fuck, that's fucking funny.
Very structured. You were on point, every fucking thing. So much wonderful information was getting put across in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
And go on.
She was like fucking like on like bam, 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 question. I was like, Jesus Christ, can we chill for 2 seconds?
I know. And you were just fucking throwing all that shit back rapid fire. It was really great. So everybody should watch that shit. It's not hella long, and it's just jam packed with information.
That was like the fucking like I don't even know what to like. Oh my God, if there was like a protein bar of narcissism information, that was fucking it. Jesus Christ.
It was so fucking good. It's almost like I need to copy and paste it in my fucking notes. That way I can just throw it on people's shit, you know? Because I already do with Mark's videos, you know, the ones
Oh,
that so much really great information and everything, and I fucking put, you know, because if there's something that somebody, well, how do you feel about blah blah blah, and I'm just like, well,
it's
Mark,
every fucking time. It's like I've answered the which video this is a billion fucking times.
yeah. So I mean, I'll copy and paste my things, but then if I think somebody else can explain it a lot better, I do copy and paste other people's videos, you know,
Yeah.
because I want them to get the best education possible. You know, and I did fight the whole the competition. We're company, you know, I'm better, you know, shit and everything. And I'm just like, it's I have to step down from that and put the reason why we're doing this on top of that. So
Yeah. And that's like, because how I'm able to rationalize it is I'm always like, well, Sarah is unaware female narcissist who, well, not unaware females, Jesus, was unaware for longer than I was. She, and like older than I am, and also female, we're different hierarchies. Like we have different audiences and different things that we're offering. So that's how I'm able to rationalize it in my head and not be like, or in like early morning barking, he has both MPD and BPD.
yeah,
I'm like, okay, we're all separate. We don't have to. We aren't competing because we have separate shticks, basically. And I have to rationalize it like that, or I would get upset.
yeah. Well, I do that too. And you know, when I talk to people and they're having trouble with a man and all these things, and I've heard you talk about something similar, I'm like, go watch Nameless Narcissist. Nameless Narcissist knows what the fuck. I've heard.
I do the same thing for you whenever like someone's like, oh, I had this female, blah blah, and I was like, I'm like, I can't fucking relate to that. Like, you're going to have to go watch Sarah's shit. Like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, like when somebody would talk about like man shit or sex and stuff, and I'm like, I have to give them off to, you know, somebody, not that, you know, don't leave me, but you know, go see.
You know, it's like still stuff, please, but like also this person is going to answer that question.
Yeah. Well, like I saw somebody on your live once asking about divorce or something with children, and I was just like, I wanted to say something, and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not.
I may have not that time, but there's been similar times where it's been like divorce and stuff like that. I have definitely recommended you because I'm always like, they're like anything to do with the legal system or having kids. I'm like, I got no fucking clue whatsoever. I am 23.
No, and like when I know that somebody asked you once, oh, if you had kids, how would you feel? It's like, motherfucker, it's so different than actually having these little people draining you dry every day and wanting to, you know, you have to give kids attention. So it's like you want attention, but you have to give. And then, you know, and then you have to mask up in front of everybody else that you're the perfect parent and shit too. Sucks. The whole thing.
I'm not having children for a long time. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and please do not have multiples because you're going like I do not know how people can have kids so close together because none of them are going to get special attention. I had all my kids 5 years apart and 6 years apart, so I could give them special attention each one, and I still fucked it up. So there you go. There you go.
That's a bit. I mean, I fucking wrestle with this not every day, but like frequently of like, I have a very serious disorder. Maybe I will, like, I've been like, I gotta make peace with the fact that like, maybe I'll never be in a place to have kids because, you know, that I might fuck them up real easily with even like, if I can do everything right from my perspective, I still might mess them up. And they still have my cluster B genes. And for fuck's sake, I do not want to make any little Jacobs running around. That would be awful.
Yeah. Well,
the city will burn down if there's a couple of me going around.
Yeah, I think if you have, I mean, because you're young and you're going to learn a lot more. I didn't learn shit. before, you know, so you are at least going to know what not to do. I
Please.
just be careful not to do that golden child shit, because that's what I did with my first son. He was my fucking everything. So
If I do that, then I'm only having one kid. Fuck that.
yeah, good idea. And
Yeah.
no, and don't let them walk all over you. Just fucking mess. Don't let them. Don't. But anyway.
But okay, yeah. Let's wrap it up.
Okay.
Fucking,
Thank you,
we've
Jake.
gone for like 2.5 hours.
Thank you, Jacob, for hanging out with me. I'm sorry that any of the fucking chat. I saw nothing.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I was just kind of like, fuck, like these people being assholes. Whatever.
Okay, and everybody go watch Jacob's live before this one too.
But yeah, and we also should do this again soon. We should do something a little bit more regular, because this is only the second time we've gone live on YouTube together, which is like weird. I've been live with like Rich like 3 times.
We did 2 TikToks.
We did do that, true. I forget about those. But like, again, YouTube's home.
Yes, I like YouTube better.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
I will catch you later.
Namaste.